Well, I actually started out making doll clothes. My mom got me a sewing machine at about the age of 11. She didn't know how to sew. So I taught myself and I started making Barbie doll clothes for my sister. I kind of dropped everything for quite a few years until I discovered friendly plastic. And then I went on a rampage of making jewelry to the tune of like $10,000 a year. Yeah, in my spare time, while running a farm and raising 5 kids. My marriage was ending, and then it was college, single mom, and then a job. So things went on hold for a while. So I picked it up again just maybe 3 years ago, and that's when I started watercolor painting. I'm the project coordinator for the Better at Home program in Quesnel. In my job, I'm looking after people all the time, and I get people when they're old, and I get people when they're dying. When I lose one of my clients, I just, you have to process that and you have to deal with it, because if I thought too long and hard about it, I couldn't do my job. And that's the hardest part of my job. Being able to lose myself in the artwork it's my self-care. I'm originally from Smithers, and the Witsett is my band. And then one of the house animals is the big frog, and then there's the small frog, and I'm from the small frog clan. So when I do the drums and the dream catchers and the feathers, I do feel like I'm getting my inspiration from my culture. Leah Seabrook was an amazing, amazing artist. So I arranged a class of about 10 or 11 ladies, and we all paid X amount of dollars to have her teach us. As soon as I touched the brush to the paper and saw what the water could do, it was like, holy crow, this is amazing. But she came around the table on the second lesson and said, "You have sellable art." And then it was just like, watch out, let me go. So I still carry on my my honor of her and in my work, and I use her painting palette, and every time I use it, I think of her. I kind of go in waves. I'll be doing sunflowers 1 minute and dream catchers another minute, and a person walking a dog the next minute. I do my Eclectic Art Mirrors. It's one of my favorite ones, and for me, this I think I got my inspiration from strolling the streets of Venice. I heard an opera that they were practicing one afternoon. So this one I called Old Venice. I'm the queen of thrift store shopping. The Garbage Dump Boutique, as I call it, up there by the garbage dump. Oh my gosh, that's the treasure. I could probably pump out about 5 more mirrors without even leaving the house. That's how much stuff I got collected in trays under the beds, jewelry under here. And then I'll go on another tangent and sew rock painting. There's a whole table full of crows. So I've painted those for my friend Lorene, who passed away, and those are going to be for her celebration of life. Then I'll go on another tangent, which will be my watercolor. I am inspired by different things. I have been doing quite a few cats. I'm a tree follower. I study trees. I'll go on a trip just to study formation, or I'll screech to a halt and take a picture of a tree. Obviously, I was inspired by the fires that happened and the devastation. So I try to capture the devastation and the beauty in the trees, but sometimes it's just beauty. Very seldom do I paint a black or a brown tree. This is an example of, I would say, a spirit tree. There will be people who see things in here that I don't see. Oh yeah, don't you see that face up there in the corner? And it's just really odd that it's a medium that allows that discussion to happen. So my grandchildren and I were trompsing around in the bush in Saskatchewan, and we came across this skull. And why I picked it up and brought it home. Not so sure. It just evolved as this, but not overnight. It took a while. So then my ex-husband's wife, she gifted me with a buffalo skull. So I sprayed it just a little bit of silver, glitzed it up a little bit. And this is the one where I wanted it to be a little bit more indigenous looking. That's what it felt like for me. And this is a healing stone. I'm not quite finished with it because I think it needs a little bit more work in here. It's just hard to say what will inspire me next. And I don't always know, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll see something and it'll be like, boom, I got it. So for example, outside, if you notice the birdhouse, which was a really cool design that I did, and I have an elderly gentleman, he's 80, I call him Boyfriend Bill, and I do the drawings and he builds me that birdhouse. Then I'm putting it on the stand and I'm thinking, okay, I need to cover up all this. Well, all that driftwood that I've been collecting for 20 years came in handy. I love to collect, and I sometimes think, people must just think I'm a nut bar. But then when I have someone walking by my yard and ask to come in and take a look at my art studio outside, that's like, yes. In September, I had the art in my park, which I think is my third one that I've had in my yard. And I had a smaller crowd this year, but the people that came and saw my work and were jaw-dropping, surprised and taken with it, that for me as an artist is what I need to see. COVID has really put the brakes on sales for me personally, and in my opinion. People aren't going out to events. I still need to paint, but if I'm not selling my artwork because I can't get out to where people are going to be to buy, then my stuff keeps piling up, and I don't get to buy more of my materials that I need. My goal for myself is to produce my website. And I think that if I can capture all these tree lovers around the world, I might have something there.